Hi, and in this video, I'm going to share 8 green flags that a guy is a great fit for relationship, right? These are going to be the signs that it's all systems go. All systems go, my dear. This is a guy that you do want to be in a relationship with. And it's going to be a combination of signs from within yourself, right? Signs from your side of things, and also signs from how he is and how he's showing up. So you're going to see both sides of the coin here. And if a man has a majority of these signs, by all means, jump on him. He's the type of guy that you want to be in a connection with. And I'm making this video in part because there's so many red flag videos out there of all the signs to watch out for. And I think that it can be dangerous to watch too many of those videos because, ladies, I know you don't want to get hurt again. I completely understand that. And also, if you're so preoccupied on not getting hurt again and you're constantly watching red flag videos and preoccupying yourself and fixating on all the things to look out for, to avoid, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go out there and you're going to start dating and you're going to be, of course, looking for all the potential red flags. And the problem is when that's what you're focused on, when that's where your energy's at, you're going to find them. You're going to see signs in every guy, including potentially great guys, and you're going to end up sometimes sabotaging what would be awesome relationships and connections with men. Okay, so let's take a breather from the red flags. We know what all those are, or most of them. And let's look at green flags that are actual signs that a guy is a great fit for a relationship. Because if you focus on those, you're going to be more likely to call that in your relationship or connection. Okay, so number 1 is, this might be a little bit of surprise, he is living his purpose and it's not you. He is living his purpose. He is focused on and really motivated into and ambitious and moving towards his vision of his life, right? And it is not solely focused on you. This is so important because a lot of women that I've worked with at some point, they think that they want, and maybe you're one of them, right? You think that you want a man who puts you on an ivory tower and makes you his whole world. And that can, in theory, that sounds really nice, right? But in practice, you know what that is? Maybe you've had it before. That's a lot of pressure. And that is actually not very sexy, right? Because part of creating polarity, right? Polarity being a man in his masculine and a woman in her feminine, right? Within the relational container, experiencing this amazing connection and attraction between each other, right? When for polarity to exist, a woman doesn't want to be a man's entire life, right? She wants to be a man's partner in his pursuit of his life and his vision and his dreams, right? Just as you want a partner, right, to help you in your pursuit of your own life and your dreams and your vision, okay? So you want to be with a man. So if a man that you're seeing or dating is got a vision for his life and he is getting after it and he is excited about it and he also sees you as a part of his life as he pursues that vision and that purpose, that's a great green flag. Okay, if a guy is sitting there being like, you're my entire world, you're my entire reality, you're all that I want, and I don't care what else happens in my life as long as I have you. If that's what you're feeling or picking up on from a guy, that's not the type of relationship you want. Okay, so that's green flag number 1. Green flag number 2, that this is the guy or a great fit for you, is that he is truly present when he is around you, when he's with you, okay? And you know what that feels like, right? That's a guy who is locked in on you. He's making a lot of eye contact with you whenever you are together, right? He's not even thinking about looking at his phone. Am I right? Feels good, doesn't it? I know that I have a bit of a phone addiction in terms of when I am not around my partner, when I'm in my life, I have a hard time, not looking at my phone every, however long, right? But when I'm around Callie, I made a conscious, when I'm in relationship, period, right? But particularly with this beautiful relationship I'm in with my partner, Callie, I make a conscious decision to be truly present whenever we're together. Whenever, and she's commented on it about how it really creates a feeling of safety for her and how she really feels seen and heard by the fact that I don't look at my phone when we're eating food together. I always am deliberate in how I show up for her when we're together. because I want her to feel that she is a huge priority in my life, because she is. So if a guy is making the effort to be truly present with you, if he is an active listener, if you can tell when you're sharing things with him that he is really listening, right? He's asking you follow-up questions. He is responding emotionally or just in terms of his body language to what you're saying. He's like, oh my gosh, wow, that happened at work today? Well, how'd you deal with it? He's not just like passively letting you talk. If he's really being present, he's active listening to you, and he's not allowing himself to be distracted by the TV or the phone or whatever else, it's a powerful green flag and a sign that, he's investing in you in some way, and that might be a good fit for a larger commitment or a bigger relationship, okay? The third one, and this is one that's more directed towards you, right, is the question, right? Do you feel safe in your body with him? Okay, number 3 is, do you feel safe with him? If you feel safe in your body with him, if your nervous system calms down when he's around, it's a very good sign, right? One of the deepest signs that you are in a polarized connection with a stable masculine figure in your life is the fact that your energy is setting him free and helping him feel lighter and more playful and more sort of like buoyant and dynamic, right? And that his energy is making you feel more safe, more grounded, more relaxed and within yourself, right? That's called the interdependence of the masculine and the feminine, right? And one of the key ways that happens in a relationship is that, just by the way he's being with you, the way he's talking to you, the way he holds you, the way he touches you, the way he listens to you, that that you're safe with him. So if you're feeling safe when you're around him and when you're with him, and just that you're in relationship or in connection with him at all, green flag, all systems go, okay? Now, number 4 this is another one from his end, is that he has a healthy relationship with his family. This is one of those, I think, ones that it seems like it'd be common sense, but it's very important to mention, because a lot of times if a guy has a toxic relationship with his family, if he has a super dysfunctional relationship with his mother, or he and his dad are very aggressive towards each other, or he's not talking to any of his siblings, that's a sign that he has deeper emotional issues that are going to inevitably come up in your connection or relationship with him, okay? So if he is constantly bad-mouthing his parents and talking crap about his siblings or whatever, and he doesn't talk to any of them, and he might have the greatest explanation in the world, and he might seem so nice and normal to you in that space, please don't believe him, right? If a man has a healthy relationship with his mother and father, and he's got a good relationship with his siblings, that means that he has a stable emotional foundation for his relationship with you. All right. I remember in the early days of me getting to know my girlfriend, I actually invited her to come home with me to my family for Christmas. Within the first couple weeks of knowing her, and it was a little crazy, right? But I knew that I wanted to share that with her because I wanted her to see how healthy and how loving my relationship was with my parents, and how close I was with my family, because I wanted her to see that I was someone that was safe to be around. And that I understood what a healthy relationship between a man and a woman looks and feels like, because my parents have had that for over 40 years now, around 40 years. So to take a look at that. And if he's got a healthy relationship with his family, it's probably worth going down the road with. All right. Now, the 5th sign, right? And this is an important one and sort of a nuanced one here. This is within yourself, is that you feel momentum. You feel momentum with him. What is momentum? What does that feel like, right? Well, it feels like the relationship is moving somewhere. If it's even, it can even be on a first or second date, or you're just talking to him, but he's taking the lead and he is moving things in a given direction, right? So if you're talking to him online, he is moving forward to try to set up a date with you. If you're on a first date, he's moving forward and being proactive about setting up the second date. If you're dating him casually, you're getting the sense from the way the dates are progressing and the way that you are both opening up that things are moving towards a relationship. it's that feeling that there's movement, right? That the relationship is moving in a direction, and that direction is towards a deepening of your connection. So no matter what stage you're at of getting to know somebody, if you're feeling a sense of momentum and it's coming, especially it's coming from his end, right? That he's the one leading the way, he's the one being proactive in the process. It's a great sign that the relationship is headed in a positive direction and that he's a healthy person to sort of open yourself up to and trust more. Right? Because I'm sure you've been on the other end of the spectrum, right? Where you're constantly feeling like you're having to drag somebody deeper into the relationship. You're constantly feeling like this person isn't giving you a lot of energy. They're not willing to like plan the next date ahead of time. Those are guys that are just either not standing in their empowered masculine, right? Or they're just not into you. For whatever reason, right? Maybe they've got other things on their mind. Maybe you're not really their type and they're just sort of like passively going along with the dating or relationship. These are not the type of men that you want to be spending your time and energy with, right? Your time and energy is sacred and you're so valuable when it comes to, connection that let go of any man who doesn't see you as someone to be cherished and who isn't trying and really in his empowered way, looking to move the connection in a positive, deepening direction. Okay? Very, very, very important. Now, number 6 this is another one on his end, right? Is that he has close friends of both genders. Now, I know not every guy has this, but if a guy does have this is like one of those bonus flags, right? If a guy has close friends of both genders, that is a sign that he is an emotionally intelligent individual, right? Because it's pretty easy to be friends as a guy. It's pretty easy to be friends with other guys. Right? You talk about whatever, sports, you talk about what you're doing, you have shared interests in business or whatever. And so it's easy to be like surface level friends with guys. But if a guy has deep, beautiful friendships, not just with men, but with women, this is a man who has done some work on himself. This is a man who probably had sisters growing up. This is a man who understands and can empathize with what women are experiencing. And so as things are coming up for you and you're sharing with him what's in your heart or what you're experiencing, like he's going to get it. He's going to be in a much better place to hold that space for you because he's already held space for his female friends. Right? I'm grateful and blessed to have had many wonderful, amazing female friends in my own life. And it's part of why I think I felt so comfortable getting into this space, right? Because in a way, y'all are all my friends. Y'all are all, and I hope that energy comes through, right, in these videos that I record for you, that I like to be that friend, big brother type figure who's just sharing with you what I think is important and valuable to help you have better connections and better relationships with the men in your life. Because I think that we're all looking for the same thing, and that if we just understand each other better, we're going to have better relationships. So if a guy has good relationships, good friendships on both sides of the fence, it's a green flag that he's probably someone that you can trust and go into a deeper relationship with, okay? And now this 7th one, we're almost at the end of the list, right? This 7th one is huge, right? And it's going to seem a little random or a little not focused on the rest of them, but it's super, super important. It's that he takes care of his body and his mind. All right? He takes care of himself. He is not drinking 15 gallons of vodka every weekend, right? He reads books. Shocker, right? He takes the time to read books. He watches educational stuff on YouTube. He actually, because what that means, right? When a man takes care of his body and his mind, it means that he values himself. It means that he has self-worth. A lot of times, men that are intensely self-destructive, and I know this because I've known many of them in my own life and in my own time on this planet. I was one of the other type before, right? I used to have very little self-worth. I used to not value myself very much at all. I used to beat up on myself a lot. And when I had that sort of mentality, I drank a lot. I womanized. I was not a great person to be around. I was very self-destructive. And so it's a red flag, right? If he's pretty self-destructive about his health and his body and his mind. But if he really takes care of himself, you want to recognize that as a sign that he values who he is. He values who he is. He understands the importance of that. And because he's in that space, he's also going to understand and appreciate, your effort to do that. He's going to hopefully honor and respect you in the same way that he honors and respects himself. So big green flag if he takes care of his body and his mind. Now this 8th one, and this one is the grand finale. This one is the most important one. It is that he sees a future with you, and he is not afraid to talk about it with you. And also the other side of it, that you see a future with him, right? Because here's the thing, if he sees a future with you, but you don't see a future with him, right? That's it. It's not going to happen, right? But if both of you independently see a future with each other, now that's the sauce, right? So based upon how you feel with him, right? The type of dynamic that you have, the two of you have fun together, you communicate well, you understand each other, and the relationship's got momentum and all this wonderful stuff, right? If based upon all that, you can look to the future and say, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm not for sure that this is gonna, end in, marriage or whatever I'm looking for, but it definitely could, right? You see a possible future with him, and he is willing to have that same conversation with you. Like he'll joke with you, he'll talk with you about potential, future trips that you could go on together. Where would be a cool place to settle down? If the two of you can see a future with each other and then talk to each other about those timelines, about what that would look and feel like, and sort of play in the space of future with each other, it's a huge green flag, right? The other side of that being that if he is unwilling to talk about anything beyond next week with you, right? Or you can't see yourself being with him beyond, a month or something, or 3 months. Like you can't imagine taking him home to share with your family for Christmas or something, or you can't imagine going on a big trip with this person. If you can't see a future with them, then your body's already given you the wisdom, the intuition that you need, that it's time to walk away from this guy, unless you're just looking for something really short-term and casual. So again, having that shared willingness and openness to look at the future is a great sign that he's someone that is someone that you could potentially build a future with, and to keep leaning in and opening up into the connection. Because at the end of the day, what all these green flags mean is that this is someone who is probably worthy of your trust and of your commitment to opening yourself up to him. Because remember, you're not going to get any greater vulnerability and connection and relationship than that you allow yourself to lean into. So if a man's giving you green flags, if you can see that there's, potential and possibility for a wonderful relationship with him, the only way any of that's going to happen is if you lead the way with vulnerability, if you lead the way with your heart. If you have the courage to do that, even in spite of being hurt in the past, guess what? Like, you're putting yourself in a position to have an amazing relationship. And if you open yourself up and you lead the way, he's going to respond. He's going to respond, and he's going to then feel safe to open himself up. Because trust me, it's very scary for guys to do that. It's very scary for guys to open themselves up and be emotionally vulnerable with women, because we've been hurt too. And we are oftentimes a lot less experienced with being vulnerable with the feminine, with our partners, than even women are. Okay, so be the conductor, be the leader of the emotional and communicative aspects of the relationship. And if a man's showing you green flags, put your foot on the gas and see where the road takes you. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know in the comments what some green flags were that I may have missed, what your biggest ones are that when you knew maybe that your current partner was someone that you knew you wanted to be with. Be sure to click that link in the comments and caption for some amazing free training that I have created just for you. And be sure to stay tuned to this next video. This next video is 10 signs that he is emotionally investing in you. So very, very kind of sort of like along the same lines as these 8 green flags. These are 10 signs, sort of like really specific signs that a man is emotionally investing in you, and he's someone that you should probably explore a deeper relationship with. So be sure to check out that next video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Number 1 is they embrace your flaws with open arms and a smile. And this reminds me of a really great quote that we come to love not by finding a perfect person, but by learning to see an imperfect person perfectly.